My name is Manfred Simon. I was born in Cologne on Weidengasse 30, which in English would mean a street with, it has a name of a meadow, but that's neither important. I was born on February 8th, 1928. My father, Walter Simon, was a butcher, as was his father, and his father and his father before then. My mother, whose name was Bella Capel, she was born in Düren, and she also came from a family of butchers extending many generations back. So both my parents had similar background. We lived in the center of the old city. I would say it was somewhat of a working class area, but as was customary, we lived in the second floor above our store, so that my father did not have to go very far to go to his business. He really went downstairs. He did have to go to the market in Cologne, where he had animals that were slaughtered, and he brought those animals slaughtered back to the butcher store. In the same store, he also manufactured salami and bologna, and I remember as I walked through the back, there was a smokehouse, and there were these sausages hanging by cords from bars. And this visualization has stuck with me into the present generation. I also could walk toward the back, and there were stairs down in which there was a large cooling house in which the quarters of animals would hang one next to the other in row upon row. In back of this was another house in which my grandfather lived, my father's father and my grandmother. His name was Moses Simon. He was, of course, a butcher who started the store and gave it to my father. My grandmother's name was Jeanette. Her maiden name was Lehman. She was born in Dieburg, which is Hesse, and actually we had a family joke that people from Hessen, which was this district that she was born in, were very tight with money and always worried about whether they would have enough to eat or enough to drink and so forth. So this was sort of a standing joke with her. But as a boy, I still remember I could very easily go to see my grandparents, and back of my grandparents there was another yard, and when I was very little, my grandfather decided I should have a pet, and he decided to buy me a goat. But the goat did one thing: it jumped through the kitchen window, broke the glass, and as a result, I lost my pet. So in order to make up for the loss of the goat, my grandfather went out and bought me a black bird who lived in a little birdhouse in the back. And that is essentially the memory of the place I grew up in. Now, when I was very young, when I was 5 or 6, I remember playing with the children in the neighborhood.